Learning culture. The process of learning culture is called enculturation. Enculturation. That is, N is for going inside. Culturalization means the culture is going inside you. Enculturation. So, this is the word for or the term used for learning culture. That means if you are encultured, that means that particular culture is now inside you. You are getting it. You are learning it. It is very interesting to know that culture is not inherited. Although it is a common conception that we have inherited the culture, most of the times we all think and say that we have inherited this culture. What can we do? Because we belong to this culture, therefore we have inherited. But the psychologists, they say that it is not inherited. Most of the time, it is unconscious learning. Please note, this is very important. So culture is being learned. That is, enculturation is taking place. But it is not taking place because we have inherited it or we are making a conscious effort for it. Maybe in some times we are making a conscious effort to learn the culture. But most of the time it is a learning taking place unconsciously. We are not trying to learn it, but we learn it. For example, the way a mother sits, the child also learns the same style how to sit. The way the father reads the newspaper, the son may copy the same style to read the newspaper. So it is not inherited. It is a learning process which is taking place. The son is learning from the father. The child is learning from the mother. So it is a learning process, not an inheritance, which is a big misconception in our minds that it is being inherited. It is not being inherited. Enculturation is taking place. Ways to fulfill our basic needs vary from one culture to another. As I always give a very simple example of food. Food is one of our basic needs. But to fulfill that need, every culture has its own ways. As I said, some people may have 3 meals a day, some people may have 4 meals a day, some people may have rice in the morning. Like when you go to Southeast Asia, you come across people who would be eating rice early in the morning. And we would be very surprised to see that. How can people eat rice early in the morning? It's not only that only you find the difference of culture when you go to other countries. You also find the difference of culture in behaviors and habits in your own country. You may find it in the same city that people have their own culture. Like, for example, some people just drink coffee in the morning and they say they have taken their breakfast. It's enough for them. But some people may have a proper breakfast with probably some bread and some curry and some drink, tea, coffee, or some juice. So one culture varies from other at a very basic, very basic instance, like eating food. Even people have a culture to go to bed. Some people would have a culture that the whole family goes to bed at the same time. And before they leave, they must have a greeting, a proper greeting to one another. Whereas in some families, there would be a culture that anybody can sleep anytime. Nobody is really bothered who is following whatever timetable. So with our very basic needs, even we have our own culture.